Welcome to the podcast. We've got Anthony Israel here. Israel, is that how you say it?
Yeah,
Anthony. All right, man. Thanks for being here.
Of course. Thanks for having me, man.
And you are doing some bodybuilding, so that's why I decided to have you on. And we'll talk a little bit about that. I'm gonna make sure everything looks like we're streaming on Twitch. It just popped up. And we're streaming on YouTube Live, so it should be working. So we'll make a post about that right now. So we're going to go live on Twitch. Live on Twitch and live on YouTube right now. And we'll make sure that's working. So, I've had a few issues with the podcast where like losing them, so that's why we're going live now. So there'll be no opportunity to lose this podcast because it's going to be out on the internet. Okay. Live right now. Okay, man. So, why don't you tell me a little bit about how you got into bodybuilding? What brought you into that path of like wanting to get into that? And we'll start the show.
All right. So, I'll kind of start from like day one, right? So, I'm originally from Egypt. I moved up here when I was 10 years old. And like when I came here, I just kind of started putting on weight like really fast. Like I just started eating a bunch of junk food. I never really watched what I eat.
And what age were you when you started, when you came over here and you started putting on weight?
I was 10 years old.
Okay, so just a youngster.
Yeah. And I was like, as a kid, I was skinny. I was like super skinny.
Right.
So I was used to like eating a lot and being okay. But when I came here, I just became like, I wasn't really active. You know, I was going to school.
Right.
And, you know, there was like a language barrier too. So I didn't
so when you were here, you moved here, you're 10 years old,
Yeah.
and you don't speak the language or anything.
Yeah.
And you're in high school or in junior high.
Yeah.
And so you don't really know anybody. You're just eating and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. And I used it like as a stress like reliever, right? So like,
right. A lot of people do.
Yeah, and it's hard because, you know, at that age I didn't know what was right and what wasn't. And you know, of course, here's the thing about like Egyptian culture.
Yeah.
Is your parents will always feed you more. Or like
really?
If you go to
That's
your,
part of the culture?
Yeah, like
okay.
It's like you have to finish your plate, or like you have to, like as a kid I'm like, you have to finish your plate.
Right.
If you get a second round, you have to finish your plate. Or like if your, you know, grandpa or grandma make you food,
you have to eat it.
You have to eat it.
Right.
Right? So, you know, growing up with that, I know that like eating more is what I do. So then I went to school, you know, kids would make fun of me. I was just always like, I was that weird kid, I guess.
Right.
You know, that didn't really have many friends or anything like that.
It's all good. Weird is good, man.
Yeah.
Keep talking. I'm just going to make sure this is all working.
You're good.
Yep.
And I used food like as a stress reliever, like I said.
I think a lot of people do, man. A lot of people use food as a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, a lot of it's caused by certain trauma, and trauma doesn't even have to mean something like crazy. It could just be like what you're going through with like new school, don't know anybody, new country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like trying to find something to do. So that was something where you probably started. How did that transition into the bodybuilding thing then?
So when I was young, like my mom, she started going to the gym, and
right.
There was a trainer there. He was trying to sell us.
Okay. Yep.
Coaching, but it was like too much money for us at the time. And this was me at 14, so it was 4 years later. I was up like to 270 pounds. I was a big kid.
Okay.
And this was 8th grade. But I wanted to make a change. I was like sick and tired of the way I looked. I kind of hated you know, like not being able to run, not being able to do any of this stuff.
Right, you just didn't feel good probably.
Yeah. I also had like a lot of health concerns. So went there. It was a little bit too much. I didn't know anything about diet. So I started kind of like self-educating myself, watching a bunch of YouTube, like Jeff Nippard.
Oh, I love Jeb Nippard.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, that guy is a beast.
He is.
Okay.
And just started like trying to learn as much as possible because I didn't know anything. Like I thought eating cake for breakfast was a lighter meal and it was healthier than, you know, eating something else. Like that's kind of puts in perspective that I had no idea what I was doing.
But you kind of started going online, and I know like over the last 10 years, maybe even 15 years, there was like a lot of cool, like a growth online of like all these kind of people that we would watch on like YouTube, like, you know, like Jeff Nippard, or like me and my buddy Ali, we love, damn it, now I can't think of his name. I'll think of it later. Anyways, there's a lot of those cool like fitness influencers that had a lot of good information. So you started like going online and kind of looking into that.
Yeah.
So you're a kid, you're not happy with your body, and you start like kind of researching, and that's usually what people do before they actually start taking action, right?
Yeah.
They like start like, because first you're trying to figure out how do I do this right, and then there comes a point where you just have to like actually take action, right?
Exactly, 100%. And I feel like that's where a lot of people like struggle too, is like taking that first step.
Right. People are scared of the gym a lot, and they shouldn't be, right?
Yeah. And basically, like I was just there was a day where it kind of just clicked. I lost. It wasn't healthy.
Right.
But I lost like almost 100 pounds in I think like 4 or 5 months. Like I was intermittent fasting, sometimes like eating a can of tuna in a whole day.
And that was it.
And that was it. And I was doing like 3 hours of cardio. I was just trying to lose weight. I didn't care about anything else. That's all I cared about. And then I just became like a string bean.
So maybe it was a little bit unhealthy. So started out a little overweight, got into it, took it maybe to an extreme, and then you ended up just kind of a skinny kid.
Yeah. Like I got super skinny. I think I went down, I have no idea, but I think like 140.
Right.
So...
And who were some of the heroes you were looking up to at this time?
You know, funny thing, at the time, I don't know if you remember Connor Murphy.
No, I don't.
So he's a YouTuber. He used to go to like the beach and stuff, and he would take off his shirt and like, you know, do like all these like videos, like funny videos.
Okay, sick.
So at the time he was like super popular. He kind of stopped uploading now, but looked up to him. And then it just kind of progressed more into bodybuilding when I started like trying to, like after I lost the weight,
Right.
I fell in love with bodybuilding. I was like, this is what I want to do from day one. So about 7 years ago, or 6 years ago, that's all I cared about. And I started going to the gym. I'm like, okay, time under tension. You know, I started doing push-pull legs.
Right, PPL.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
And started kind of fixing my diet a little bit.
And what kind of diet were you doing at this time?
So at the time, I wouldn't really call it a diet. I just kind of cleaned it up.
You started eating mostly like healthier types of foods, basically.
Yeah, I went to more like whole foods. I used to eat like,
Right.
yeah.
Before that, what were you eating?
When I was losing the weight,
Yeah. Before you kind of decided to clean up the diet.
I was just eating anything that was small. Like
Okay.
You know, like I would eat. It wouldn't necessarily be what I ate. It would just be the quantity. Like I would eat bad food, but I would eat it once a day.
Right.
So, and I didn't know calories at the time. I was just trying to lose weight, and I would eat once or twice a day.
And that was when you were kind of losing it in an unhealthy way.
Yeah. And then I just kind of fell in love with bodybuilding. Like once you see progress in the gym.
Oh man, it gets so addictive.
Dude, and it's like, and it became my stress reliever, you know?
Right.
Like I would, if I'm having a bad day, I would go work out.
Well, it's almost like for me, it's definitely a mental health thing.
Yeah.
It really keeps my mental health good.
Exactly. And even at the time, like I didn't, have a car or anything. So I would go after school. I would come home. I would eat, and then I would, the gym was 2 miles away. So I would run the 2 miles to the gym, go work out, and then, I would bring like a little snack with me, and then have like my mom or dad pick me up after work. And that was every day after school. So I got super dedicated from day one. And that's kind of like where this whole like YouTube thing came in. It came in like YouTube and Instagram and everything like that. It came in like 5 years ago.
Right.
Because I was like,
well, everything got huge like about for the last 10 years, like all the YouTubers and stuff, and it was just like a cool time to be into bodybuilding, it seems like.
Exactly. And it I just wanted to inspire people.
Right. So you kind of had started going through this change yourself.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, when you realize you can like change your life, it makes you want to like help other people do the same thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I wanted to do, because I know when I was like an overweight kid, I didn't like, I never saw anyone lose weight. They were always telling you how to lose weight.
Right.
So that's why I wanted to like, use myself as an example and be like, hey, you can do it. And yeah.
No, dude, that's amazing. So, yeah. So when you first started, you're working out at this little gym, and your parents are picking you up and stuff. How old were you when you started first making actual progress, where you started feeling like pretty good about bodybuilding?
15.
So 15?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I have pictures of when I was 15, and people would think I was like 19 at the time.
Yeah. Did you meet some like cool friends and stuff that like?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's usually helpful to get some like friends that are, have similar mindsets and everything like that. So, so that's good. So, and how old are you right now?
I'm 19.
So 19 now, and you've done one show.
One show, Emerald Cup.
Dude, so when did you do the Emerald Cup? Last year?
This year.
Just this year?
Yeah, or this April. I mean.
And how was, tell us a little bit about your experience with, and who's your coach?
Brian Click.
Brian Click. The Click Way. So shout out to the Click Way.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Funny story about Brian. I actually met him through my uncle 4 years ago.
Right.
And he came to me and he was like, I see potential in you. And this was like when I was like 15.
Right.
And at the time I was like, okay. But I was taking bodybuilding very serious from 15. And, a lot of people would come to me and say, like, I see potential in you. I see this. But I never really saw it in myself.
It's hard, especially if you came from that place where you were feeling, because you get that, you said you're overweight when you're, because I think I was like that when I was in like junior high and stuff. I was just overweight. We were eating like, you're playing like video games. You're eating like pizza with your buddies on the weekend, like renting movies, video games, eating like pizza rolls, like fucking anything that's like shitty, and you have no idea. And then all of a sudden you start like feeling like shit about your body, and you're like, oh my God, this is like, you don't realize when you're young, like the connection between food and, your body is basically like an adaptation machine. So you put inputs in and it has an output, like it reacts to the inputs, and like, so then you realize, oh, what I'm putting in my body actually affects it. And then you start cleaning up everything, and like, so I did the same thing. By the time I was in high school, I was really tall and skinny. When I was in junior high, I was a little chubby kid. But also, I know what you mean. So it's hard for you to think about yourself with that potential, because you might still see yourself as that kid. You know what I mean? So like, you got to get past all that, I suppose.
And it makes it so scary to bulk.
Like, oh, definitely. Dude. Right. So like, once you've been lean, because I imagine I saw you posted that picture or that video of yourself, like saying like, this was during my last prep, like right before the show. Didn't post it because I thought I looked fat, which you looked lean as fuck in it, obviously. But I know what you mean. Like, you never seem to like feel like you look good enough. Dude, or that's part of bodybuilding, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing I realized. Like, a lot of people would tell, like, I remember a lot of people are like, when here's the thing, when you start like dieting down and you get past, I would say 10%, you start looking at the smallest bit of fat. Like, dude, you'll see like, you'll have ab veins, and you'll just see like something like on your side,
like,
or
what's
something.
this other fat over here?
Yeah, you start like looking at all the little details, and it gets to your head.
So tell us about your show experience, man. Like, what, so, the way bodybuilding works, you bulk up, you put on some size.
Yeah.
and then you start cutting, and then
Yeah.
eventually towards the end of the show you get to these extreme leans, you know, like so tell us what that was like when you got down there to that super low body fat. Was it pretty hard to like, did you start having some pretty crazy cravings? And
Honestly, I loved every second of it.
yeah,
I
it gets
had-
addicting being lean
yeah.
too though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I did have some like mental breakdowns.
Right, I think everybody does,
Yeah,
right?
and I had a friend who kind of helped me through it. So,
Okay.
you know, there was points where I was sitting on the couch. I had to use the restroom, and I was too lazy to get up. Like I was like, you know, contemplating life.
Yeah,
just to
man,
get
I
up.
hear that from like everybody that's I'm pretty sure last time when I had the other two bodybuilders in here, I had Kyle and Dominic in here, and I think they had a similar story, like being like so lean that like you have to pee but you're laying on the couch and you just don't even want to get up
Yeah.
because you're like, you don't want to expend the energy, you know what I mean? It's like, that's pretty crazy, man.
100%. And it was hard too because towards the end of prep, my body just didn't want to lose any more fat because that's the leanest I've ever gotten in my life.
You say you think you like kind of hit a plateau,
I did.
and then what did your coach have you do to try to break that?
So of course, like we upped cardio,
Yep.
lowered food, and we just kept doing that.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's like the only thing you can do, hit it with a little more cardio, maybe
Yeah.
a little less food, or
exactly.
okay.
And then, you know, towards the end of prep, I remember like the last 2 weeks, I was on 2 hours of cardio. So I'd wake up in the morning, first thing, do my hour of fasted cardio, and then, you know, have my meals, go to the gym, get my lift in, and then I'll bring like a no carb meal with me. It was just salmon with asparagus. I'd eat that and then do another hour of cardio and then go home and just sleep because I had no energy to do anything else.
Right.
So that was it. But stepping on stage for the first time, it is an experience I'll never forget, and I think everyone should do it.
You think everyone should do it?
At least everyone who like works out
Is in bodybuilding,
Yeah.
at least do one show.
One
Do you have
show.
plans to do some more shows?
Next Emerald.
Sick, man. So
Yeah.
that's what you're working towards right now.
Yeah.
And so where are you in the process of that right now?
we're in the bulk. So
Yeah, you're in the bulk. You were
Yeah.
saying that you're like, oh man, I feel fat, which is like we always feel fat when we're in the bulk, right?
Yeah.
It's like scary.
yeah.
And you know, that's like, I think just part of it is like, that's what Dominic that was on here last time said, is that people need to be okay sometimes with the bulk and like
Yeah.
getting a little bit fat because we think we're getting fat, but it's like, and he said, and I don't know, maybe you think this too, like it seems like a lot of people are scared with like Instagram because we're always trying to like stay lean and we're always trying to post cool shit on Instagram because it's kind of like the game right now in the fitness industry, right? So people get like really scared to, you know, bulk up and like, and I think it's something we have to like fight against. You can't be like that lean all year round if you want to make any progress, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I remember like seeing this, a few bodybuilders like podcasts and stuff too. They would
Yeah.
say like anywhere 12 to like 20% is pushing it is like the perfect body fat to bulk.
Right. Yeah, obviously, because that's what they were saying. They were talking about there is like a threshold where it gets to be too much, where you're
Yeah.
going to fuck up your hormones, you're
Yeah.
going to fuck up everything because you're like, you know, there's like that sweet spot, like you just said,
Yeah.
between like 12, what did you say, 12 to 20?
Yeah, it's
And
more,
that's where you can gain muscle.
Yeah, and it's also like about your insulin sensitivity, right? When you go above like 20% body fat, your insulin sensitivity, your body's not going to be as insulin sensitive.
Right.
So you're not going to, you know, get as good of pumps. You're not going to like absorb the nutrients in food as well,
Mm-hmm.
too. So it kind of goes back to that.
Oh, I agree, man.
Yeah. But I'm excited. Next year we're going to bring a package that no one's expecting. So very excited for that.
What's so what do you want to bring to this package?
Just being better than last year.
So what so just basically bigger and leaner.
Yes.
Is that kind of it? And what did you weigh in at last year?
I think lowest like
Like during the weigh-in.
I think I was like 172.
Right. And what do you like at right now when you're on your bulk?
210.
210.
Yeah.
So when you get to that show, how many weeks out are you till the next show?
What do you mean by that?
Well, like how many months till you're...
Till April?
Yeah, oh, so it's in
Yeah.
April. So by the time you get to that show, what do you think your weight's going to be?
It's hard to say.
If you're like at 210 right now.
It's hard to say. My weight cap is 198. So I'm going to try my best to
Right.
be at 198. Last year, Brian got me a little bit later. So he didn't really have time to, like, you know, fully bulk me. And, you know, like, he didn't have time to, like, do a full... we did a prep together, but we didn't really bulk the whole time together. It was just a few months.
Right.
And I saw amazing changes over those few months, right?
And that's working with Brian Click with the
Yeah.
Click Way. And what kind of changes did you see working with him?
Honestly, before I signed up with him, I was dirty bulking. I was 220.
Was there a reason you were dirty bulking again? Because you said you kind of like got into bodybuilding, you cleaned up your diet. Was it just for fun?
So-
I mean, it's hard, right?
For me, dirty bulking is like eating Chipotle
Yeah.
and like egg whites from IHOP.
So that's not too bad.
Yeah. I never really like sushi. Like,
And so, dude, sushi the
Yeah.
other day, my fucking coworkers took me out to this place, Umi Saki House. Shout out to that in Seattle.
yeah.
And we had this fucking bacon sushi, dude, that was like the great. It was sushi with bacon on it. Like my coworker, she was like picking up the bacon bits and like fucking feeding them into my mouth. I was just like in heaven.
Dude.
Dude. So yeah, it's hard. I get it. When you're
Yeah.
bulking, it's like because when you do get lean, you know that all that stuff goes out the window.
Yeah.
So when you're bulking, you kind of want to. Now, like, so my coach is Jordan with Renovation Fitness, Jordan and Kimberly.
Yeah.
And they do usually give you a cheat meal a week.
Yeah.
So even when you're kind of like getting leaner, you at least get one cheat meal.
So I get no cheat meals.
Right. I
and
think once you're closer to a show, though, they would say, like, no cheat meals. Yeah.
I personally don't do good on cheat meals.
Is it because it kind of like your brain? So like what happened is, you know, like I got down to like 215 and I was feeling super lean. I'm like, okay, sweet, I'll save my cheat meal, go out to sushi with my coworkers. They've been begging me to go out because I never go out because like all I do is go to the gym, go to work, go to the gym, go to work. And they're always trying to get me to go out and have fun. And the reason I don't do that is because like honestly, I mean, it's okay to do, but if you start doing that, you don't want to do what normal people are doing. Otherwise, you turn into a normal person. And so, like, I like to keep myself, like, if it's not going to help me with, like, my goals of getting in really great shape or my goal of, like, starting a business of trying to be a personal trainer or my goal of, like, getting this podcast going or, like, any goal that's going to, like, make me money, I feel like all that is extra stuff that I don't have time for. So it's, like, really rare that I'll go do that. But so my point is when I did go out, you know, we had so much fun. I ate this sushi and stuff, and it was delicious, and it felt great. But then the next day, you want shitty food again.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get back on the plan because I feel like when you do eat like a cheat meal, so is that why you have issue with cheat meals? Like, does it send you down a path maybe?
It's not even that. I just don't crave. Like, it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell people I don't really enjoy food. Like, I don't.
Because you're eating so much because you're bulking or what?
It's not even, like, even when I was cutting. Like, all the food I would crave is, like, a little bit more rice.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't really, like, I just completely cut it out.
Right.
I have a goal. Like, I want to go pro soon.
Right. So you don't want to fuck with that in any way. It's
No.
kind of like why would I do a cheat meal that's not going to get me towards this goal that I have of becoming a pro?
Exactly. And this was even like
So it's more about determination and wanting to achieve your goal. So it's like anything that's not going to help you with that goal, why do it?
Yeah. And
Right.
this was even before, like, funny example, like last year, like I didn't have a coach, I didn't have anything. My birthday around March.
Mm-hmm.
That night I had a piece of cake on my birthday. And I remember I went to the gym at 11 at night to do an hour of cardio.
Just because you felt shitty about eating that cake?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So that's why I just don't do cheat meals. I can't do it.
Right. That happens. You try to, like, justify it. You eat something, and then you try to go make up a bunch of extra cardio.
Yeah.
And goddamn, dude. That is, like, it's always like that. So, like, I kind of feel you. Like, sometimes for the longest time, I just didn't do any kind of cheat meal. I didn't do any kind of anything. Like, I just wanted to stay, you know, totally, like I said, if it's not gonna help, if it's not going towards my goal, what am I doing it for?
Yeah.
I apologize for checking this. I'm just trying to. I'm like super paranoid about. You know, I've had these podcasts that didn't get saved correctly.
You're good. You're good.
So I hate when people are like on their phone when you're trying to have a conversation, but
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure everything looks like it is working fucking great.
Perfect.
So hopefully to the people that are watching us live right now, shout out to you guys. Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
And so anyways, let's talk about what you want to bring to this next show that you think is gonna, and how do you see your path to going pro?
I know it's not going to be easy.
No.
And I'm the type of person to where like this is all I care about.
Right.
Like I don't care about it.
It should be your
yeah,
obsession if it's what you want to do, man.
Like bodybuilding is a selfish sport.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would rather go to the gym than go hang out with friends. I'd rather eat my meals than eat out. This is like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's all I care about.
Right.
But
I think that's kind of what it takes. I mean, I've had some guys in here, and unfortunately, I've lost some of the best podcasts I've had. I've had a power lifter in here. I just had, you know, 2 huge bodybuilders, Kyle Crotty, and then it was Dominic. How do I say his last name here? I'm gonna get him back on.
Yeah.
Let's see, Dominic Semenza, and those guys are fucking huge, man. And they were telling me their diet, and it is like on point, and they're pushing calories like crazy.
Yeah.
And like you can tell when you listen to like Dominic talk, like you can tell the difference of like, you know, and even my coach Jordan, like they just have this different mentality, you know, like this work ethic, and so that's what you're trying to cultivate in yourself. So yeah. I get it, like, it's just another level, but it's also like I do see it as a selfish sport, but also like it's kind of an inspiring thing too. Like even my coach was talking about that, like when you have a kid. Like, so say you have a kid and then you don't go after your goals and your hopes and your dreams. Like, what are you teaching your kid? So, like, say you have a kid and then you give up on all your stuff to, like, put all your energy into your kid. But what are you really teaching your kid then? You're not actually teaching them to go after their goals and dreams. You're teaching them to... So, like, really, you have to kind of, like, when you do have kids and stuff like that, you have to, like, keep going after your goals and, like, show them, like... So, in bodybuilding, I feel like you're, like... setting an example for other people, and then you can use that to help other people.
Exactly.
And sometimes even just your work ethic, just people watching you work hard, it like inspires other people and helps them. So it kind of is selfish in a way, like you said, you're not going to be able to go out with your friends and like go out to eat all the time, and like you're not going to have time for things. Something you have to get really good at saying no a lot, which is like hard. At least when I was younger, it was harder.
Dude, like in prep, it got to the point where my friends just ended up not even calling me to hang out, because every time they would call, I would be like, sorry, I can't. Sorry, I'm doing cardio. Sorry,
and
I'm at the gym.
You always have that. It feels bad to do that, but you have to set these boundaries, or you're not going to achieve your goals, right?
If I sleep late and I'm in prep, I'm gonna
fuck your whole schedule up,
exactly, right? Like I was sleeping at 9 o'clock. I was waking up at 6 a.m. every day.
Cardio in the morning.
Every single.
You do a little cardio, empty stomach.
Yeah.
So, right away.
Yeah.
How do you like to do it? You like to get it done, or you like to do it post lift?
So I normally like to do it post lift, but
it seems like you burn the most calories post lift because you're already like so fucking depleted from your lift. You know what I mean? It seems like you go straight into fat burning.
But I was looking at more plates, more dates.
Yeah, Derek with more plates, more dates. I love that shit. Yeah,
I love him too, man. He gives really good knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So he was talking about Yohimbine. Right. So
and that's a like testosterone booster.
No. So Yohimbine is like a natural fat burner.
Okay, it's a fat burner.
Yeah.
I remember it was like Anthony Michael had this thing where he was like a guy that was a proponent of intermittent fasting, and he used to talk about that as like a fat burner.
Dude, it works, but the thing is, it works best when you take it fasted before any food, first thing in the morning.
Right.
And then you do your cardio. That's when it's the most
So you can
effective.
take that in the morning, get up, go do your cardio on an empty stomach.
Yep. And I would do an hour in the morning.
Right. Get that hour done.
Yeah. So it worked really well.
Right. I think that is a good thing to do. I've been doing mine like after my lift. Like today I went and did legs, hit legs really hard, knew we had this. Got here so we could get ready for the podcast. But now I still have to go do my hour of cardio after we're done. Yeah. But that's fine. I'll go do it. And usually I just what do you like to do when you're doing cardio? You just get some music on, or what do you?
I just watch YouTube.
Dude, I watch YouTube. I've been watching all the Michael Bay Transformer movies and shit, all these cheesy action movies and stuff. Cause something about action movies just sucks you in.
Yeah.
And you can just keep going on the cardio, you know.
For me right now, I'm at 20 minutes a day. So
well, because you're in the bulk, so it's not as extensive. When you get closer to the show, you'll be doing hours, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Hopefully this time around, I only get up to so the goal was to only get up to an hour, but my body just didn't want to lose any weight. I was stuck. I remember this weight, 174 for 3-4 weeks. I was kind of like losing a little bit of fat, but it's just my body just didn't want to budge. So
dang.
we had like, even when we lowered food, it just wasn't.
Right.
And you know, that's at 174, that's the lowest body fat percentage I've ever been. So,
right. And does your coach like to how does he do it? Like weekly check-in, or does he do do daily stuff with you when you get closer to the show? Or?
So yeah, that's exactly what we did. We were doing I was checking in every Friday.
Right.
And then, you know, when we got to 4 weeks out, it was
started getting a little more.
Yeah, like a Friday, Monday, and then when we got to 2 weeks out, it was 3 times a week, and then week out it was every day. So, and then 2 days out, dude, it was 4 times in a day. When I started carving up,
right,
it was 2 hours after every meal.
Because you don't really know what you're doing, so he has to kind of
yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that's what a lot of coaches seem to do when they get close to the show, is they have to almost be looking at you all the time.
Yeah.
To see.
And the thing is, even if you know a lot, you need a coach, because you are going to get to a point where you...
Well, you can't really be impartial, right?
Yeah, you're going to think you look fat when you actually don't and you're on track. Or you're going to be like, I'm super flat, I need more carbs, when you don't.
And you'll fuck up and overspill or something.
Yeah. So even if you know whatever, a coach is the best thing you can have. And I didn't know anything, so that's why I had Brian there for me. He helped me, and I'm excited for next year.
Dude, that is so exciting. That's so this will be your second show you've ever done. Yeah. No, that's super exciting, man. So. Is there anything you're really working on right now during the bulk to bring out, any body parts that you thought were lacking? Or
So judges, I got the judges' feedback. They said overall size, I was the smallest.
Well, obviously you're just starting. You're 19. You got a lot of growing to do. Yeah.
Exactly. But mainly shoulders and biceps. Those were my weak points.
Shoulders are tough.
Yeah, they are.
Dude, some of them dudes, they just got fucking... just the roundest mother. It's dude,
I'm trying to get those capped shoulders.
And round shoulders, they look sick, man.
They do. Yeah. 100%. That's really all I need to bring up.
Just overall size. What are your splits kind of look like right now?
So right now I'm doing Monday push day with shoulders, shoulder focus, and just a little bit of triceps. I don't do any chest that day.
Right.
And then Tuesday I'm doing a quad focus leg day.
Yep.
Wednesday I take it off. Thursday I do back thickness.
Right.
With a little bit of biceps at the end. And then Friday I do a push day with chest focus.
Yep. Saturday
is my weird day where I do back width, biceps, and hamstrings.
Nice. And does Brian set up all your lifts too?
Yeah. He does everything for me.
So he does everything. He does diet. He does your lifts.
Yep.
Weekly check-ins. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a style that you like better than others, or is this something new, or what did you do when you started? Were you just kind of looking up stuff online? And
I think that's what helped me the most.
Yeah.
Since day one, I never cared about the weight I lifted. I always cared about like my form.
Right, and that's important.
Yeah, and I think just me slowly progressing, focusing on only my form is kind of what brought me to where I am today.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I could be a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. I think we all can. But was there like, when you first started, did you just kind of look shit up online or like?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's like all I did is like.
Yeah, I was like, how do I do a bench press? How do I do this? And the thing is, like, the one thing that helped me out the most is I still do this to this day, is I would just go up to everyone at the gym and be like, hey, can you watch my form on this? Can you help me with this? What do you recommend for this?
Excuse me.
And I feel like that's really what helped me the most.
Well, that's the cool thing. Like, you're at the body shop, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time, or do you lift somewhere else too?
Mostly at Body Shop, yeah.
I mean, there's like, obviously, like the best of the best there for like knowledge as far as coaches and stuff to ask. Yeah. Like, you got like Jordan, you got Mark there, you got Dominic. Like, there's like some pretty awesome coaches there, man.
Exactly.
And then it's like, I always feel like that brings out the best in you too, because you're like around all these people that are just like killing it, you know?
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like, if I go work out at LA Fitness, the workout is gonna be like it's just whatever.
I just don't like them that much.
Yeah.
They're okay. Yeah, I mean, I still have like my LA Fitness. I don't know. It's just not the. I really like East Side Gym here too. Which,
where's that at?
It's over by Black Raven Brewery, I believe.
Okay.
It's in. I think it's a Redmond address. It's like an old school. Like, his name's Lonnie Bodybuilder. Like, it's like all. Like, if you want to go do like deadlifts or like squats, they got, you know, all the squat racks, like 10 squat racks, and like they definitely have cardio stuff. But it's kind of a fun gym for like old school atmosphere, and it's like, so I'd say that one. Body Shop's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I had Sam Deason on here with Ego Gym. I've never been there, but it's a powerlifting gym that looks pretty cool. So yeah, there's a lot of cool gyms around here, man.
Yeah, I've only really checked out like Body Shop, to be honest.
Big Iron Gym, that was a good one.
Oh yeah, I go there too sometimes. The one in Everett is nice.
It is, the one in Everett. I haven't been to the Seattle one, but the one in Everett's pretty dope, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But yeah,
just killing it, huh?
Just killing it, yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on like social media and everything? Are you kind of working on that too? I see some of you doing some kind of like funny videos and stuff too, and I think that's important to do. Like, it's part of the. Everybody has their opinion on that stuff right now.
Yeah.
But obviously, I think it's like here to stay, and like if you want to make, turn this into a career in any way, I think social media is definitely like gonna be part of that, right?
Yeah. So social media, I've kind of been doing it since I was like 14. Like
right.
I have videos on.
Well,
YouTube.
your age group, I think you guys just grew up with it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But over the past, when I created my like Instagram account and everything like that, I was like, I want to do this to like inspire people to be their best.
Right.
And then I went to the point where I was only posting like my physique and stuff.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really like showing my personality.
You thought you were, it was almost like you're trying to show just this hard, like just this badass dude. You weren't showing any of like your other sides, kind of. Yeah.
And I like to think of myself like as a funny guy.
Right.
So, I wanted to like kind of like bring it out and like show people my personality and like be like, hey, like I'm just like you, like, you know what I mean? Like
It's like more relatable for people, I feel like. Yeah.
No,
I love that. There's a lot of guys that do that, and like I like do you know like what is it, like it's Isaiah Miranda, I think, and that big fucking dude with the long hair. It's like, and he's been on like a bunch of podcasts that I really like. I think it's like what the fuck is his name? I gotta look him up.
The name sounds super familiar
though. Mark, I think it's Mark. I don't know, but they do these fucking.
Is it Mark Plummer?
No, I know Mark Plummer, but they do these like really funny videos, dude.
Yeah.
And there's some of them are just like hilarious. I gotta find it. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's Hello Mark Harley.
Okay.
You got to follow Hello Mark Harley, dude. This
Yeah.
dude is fucking so funny. He's on like look at this dude. He's like in his
Oh, yeah, I know
40s and
him.
he's just like killing it, you know.
Yeah.
He's got his podcast and shit. But he's on like Brendan Schaub's podcast a lot, and yeah, he works out at I think like Bradley Martin's gym a lot, and they do so many funny videos, dude. They're like hilarious.
Yeah, and I'm actually like.
I mean, like laugh out loud shit. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually going. I'm trying to go to like Cali next week, and
Yeah.
like go to like Zoo Culture and go to all those gyms.
Just
and
get like a lift in there or something.
I want to do funny videos.
Dude, that's the place to do. Have you
Yeah.
seen any of their videos?
I have. They're all funny.
Dude,
you know, like,
oh my
yeah.
fucking god, those Zoo Culture ones, they're so funny. Like, that is cool when people like show a little bit of like, because you know I'm from like a pro wrestling background. That's what I did. Like from, you know, I went high school, then college, and then I decided I was gonna go try to be a pro wrestler, and I did. And so like, it's a similar thing where like when you're doing pro wrestling, it's very like serious because you want to be like the best, so you want to be like the badass guy. But like, you know, even like the guys like The Rock or Stone Cold or some of like the best ones, like some of their best shit is when they're like showing their funny side. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like obviously The Rock's the best at it. You know, like fucking like what it doesn't matter. You know, he
Yeah.
would do all that fucking shit, and like, I mean, just that shit is like where you really show your personality, and then I think that's what makes people, like you said, relate to you. Like normal, because I think bodybuilding's kind of weird for not everybody's into it, right?
Yeah.
But if you're doing some of that funny stuff, you can like maybe touch like some just normal people that just want to see like your funny personality and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
And I feel like over the last, I would say like year or two, I feel like bodybuilding is just kind of blown up.
Oh, I think it's gotten huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Chris Bumstead has to do a lot with that too. Like he kind of like with classic physique.
Yeah, I'd say he's probably the coolest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So it's so funny because I'm like I said, I was like a huge fan of like pro wrestling, huge fan of like old like, you know, like Stallone movies and like fucking the Rocky movies and shit like that. And that's like where I get my love of like, you know, physiques and bodybuilding, and I like superhero shit and like nerd shit like that.
yeah.
But it's like I don't know that much about the actual bodybuilding as a sport. And that was what was so cool when like Kyle and Dominic run here, because they like fucking like they follow it like the way guys follow football, or like they're just like they know all these guys. Like obviously I know who Chris Bumstead is, because it's like who doesn't know, you know,
Yeah.
Chris Bumstead, and you know, but yeah, those are like the guys that are kind of making it super popular right now.
Yeah. Now, question for you: have you ever competed, or like, do you plan to compete soon?
So I started working with Renovation Fitness 2 years ago, and like I said, I was a pro wrestler. I'm like 37 now, which that doesn't matter as far as like age. You can still do it, and I've been working with them, and I do really, you know, this year Jordan told me he's like, well, you know, he's like, we got to get Nick on stage next, and like he told me, he's like, I think you have enough muscle, but like I'm still just like you said, it's hard to get myself to believe that I'm like a person that could do that. You know what I mean? Like I just don't see myself like that. Like I'm starting to see myself like, you know, I try to like work really hard. I try to put it in. For me, it's like I said, mental health. It's helped me with how I look, my confidence, everything like that. And it's kind of just a way of life. Like I don't think I would really function with that. Like I feel like the human body is like, you need to like to work hard. Like I feel like that's what causes so much like depression, anxiety, is just like lack of movement and lack of like challenges or hardship in life. You know, I don't think humans are made to like just like sit around at a desk and like feel, they're not going to feel okay if you do that. So like to me, I love it. I love trying to do something really hard. So I'm like, dude, I think I'll wait one more year. Like I want to bulk one more time, because when I looked at myself the first time Jordan got me lean, I looked at my pictures and I saw that, and then it's been a year where I bulked with him, and then I got lean again, and I looked side by side at the pictures of when I was leaner now. I'm like, but I looked way bigger. And so I'm like, man, if I do that one more year, so maybe like, I don't know when the right show would be to do it. But it's like you said, you're saying like everybody that's into this should just do a show.
Yeah.
And I think I should, because like I haven't really, like, even what Jordan says about like you know, like, because I'll get super lean on my check-ins, and then I get leaner, and then it's like, oh well, I had a fucking cheat day and I gained weight again. And he's like, you know, the thing is, you don't have that deadline of that show coming up.
Yeah.
So when you get that goal and that deadline, you're pushed to like, so now if I fuck up and I want to go out eat sushi with my friends or something, it's like, oh, I'll just get lean next week, because there's no deadline. You know what I mean? There's nothing, there's not that pressure. Like, you know, a lot of times you under pressure is when you do your best work. So it's like, you know, if that show's coming, that puts pressure on you, like, oh, I didn't do my cardio today. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I can catch up next week, because there's no deadline. Yeah. So he's like, if you had a show coming up, it would be like all that pressure, and that's what would really push you. So like, I do want to do a show, because I want to try to like see what that's like to, because I've gotten close to those minuscule levels of leanness, like not even close to what you guys do when you get on a show, but like I've gotten lean, but I want to see what it's like to like really fucking go to those crazy levels, dude. So yeah, I would like to do a show. Yeah. And I really should. I just gotta like basically stop being a pussy and like just decide. You know, it's like anything, like take the action to actually just do it.
Yeah, I think you're gonna love it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be awesome, man. Like, since I've done pro wrestling, I've already been in front of crowds and everything. So
yeah.
but it's gonna be a whole different thing.
Yeah.
And then you start, like you said, all the like mind games of like, oh, do I need to carb up more? Do I look fat? Or like, you have to like have your coach like coaching you through all that stuff,
yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah, 100%. And like, I was even scared of like stage.
Did you have stage fright?
Before, I was
just to be in front of people?
I was terrified, but when you go up there, dude, it's like you don't feel anything. You're just like, you're doing your flow, you're posing.
Right.
Everyone's like, you know, and everyone there, like even your competitors, they're all like, it's like a family. It's not like.
So it's really a lot of support.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it probably feels really good then.
Exactly.
Well, I was like, you know, Mark Sandayan, right? Like he does like when he does his like posing and stuff, he does like a lot of breakdancing stuff. And so that was cool. That was surprising to me that he told me on the podcast that he kind of had some like stage fright too. And I'm like, really? Because he seems like the opposite, like the outgoing, you know, with doing all that breakdancing and shit. But so I think everybody kind of has that stage fright, dude, or like it's that weird thing about being in front of people.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But you know, I think it just being on stage helps. It's not as bad as, you know, people say it is.
No, and so who does your posing?
Jack Larson.
Jack Larson?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is, but
he works with Brian. So.
Okay, so he works with Clickway as the posing coach, man.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool, man. Shout out to that.
Yep.
So what when you do start posing, are you doing that like, do you practice a little bit of that every day?
Yeah, so in prep at 8 weeks out, I was getting 2 posing sessions a week. And I was practicing every day after my lift.
Right. So basically like lift, cardio, and then you put in your posing.
Yeah. So I had it like, I would do my lift, I would eat my like meal, and then pose, let it digest, and then do my hour cardio.
Oh damn.
So I would eat at the gym.
So like, and kind of like, I think a lot of people do, man. Like, it's like, I mean, sometimes I think you just have to, and then if you start like, a lot of those guys are coaches too, so they're training people. It's like you almost have to just bring your food with you.
Yeah.
I noticed that too. A lot of guys that are super serious about bodybuilding, they will, like, if they're gonna travel or anything, they take all their food with them. It's not like, oh, I'll hop off my meal. Like, your meal plan is your meal plan.
Yeah, and the other thing too is like, I see, so a lot of people like don't take their bulking as serious as they take their cut.
They get a little like loosey-goosey, you think?
Yeah, like sometimes they're like, oh, it's fine, like I'm not in prep, and I even made that mistake one time where I was like, it was post-show, and I was reverse dieting, and I got so hungry to the point where I just, like, it was like, I woke up at 3 a.m., and I just ate a whole bag of rice cakes. Just like freaked out and ate it? Yeah. It was just post-show, I was just so hungry, and like, you know, I just wanted to eat something, so I kind of did that, but I regretted the next day.
So when you got done with your show, did you just go out to eat at a lot of places? I've seen a lot of guys, like, after their shows, they go hit pizza, they go hit a burger and fries. Like, I feel like that's damaging a little bit.
No, post show I went right on the reverse.
I know. I think like reverse diet, because like,
Yeah.
if you said you listen to like Derek with More Plates, More Dates, he talks a lot about that, where like guys will fuck up everything.
Yeah.
Like they just do this crazy shit after a show, or like I don't know if you like follow Lane Norton with BioLane. I love that guy too. That guy's like the shit. But just like obviously, I think after a show you're gonna want to have some fun, but I think it's like important to like get back on track.
Yeah. The only reason why I didn't is because I was like, right now is the best time for me to put on the most amount of muscle I ever have in my life.
Because of your age and your natural testosterone is
Yeah.
just fucking high as it's ever gonna be.
Exactly.
And, yeah.
And like post show, you're like, you're gonna absorb the most amount of nutrients from food. Like your body just
Right.
wants to take everything in.
Because you've been depleted so long, it's
Yeah.
gonna really jump back. So you saw it as like a way to make some gains
Yeah.
afterwards.
And I've made the craziest gains I've ever made in my life.
After the show,
Like I used to always like I would watch like in prep, like reverse show, like how important it is to reverse diet, how much gains you can make, this and that, and I was like probably gonna gain like 10 pounds, whatever. It was crazy. Like I was gaining like 5 pounds a week.
Yeah.
For like 3 months straight. Like
but since you were doing it clean, you feel like it was pretty good weight.
it was, yeah. I mean, I got.
Because I see where some guys will like after a show they do that, or they go crazy and eat so much shit, and then like
Yeah.
they'll like gain 30 pounds in a week. Just
Yeah.
like it's like all shitty food, and I think that's like, I don't know. That's the thing that scares me about a show. Like, it's like, yeah, I don't want to end up doing that. But
Yeah. No, the reverse diet is so important. Like.
even when I start bulking again this year, I want to like do it really slow and clean. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I do it clean, but like I don't want to push calories too much because it's like I just don't want to get fat again.
And that's why I'm so thankful for my coach too, is like when post show, like we were slowly increasing my calories.
Yeah.
So I wasn't even eating a lot. Like I was, eating fairly low calories for probably like a month. And I
Yep.
was still gaining weight, and then we just kept slowly doing it. And I'm at like 3,500 right now,
Right.
which is not a lot for me.
Yeah.
And I'm.
But
Still
you're making
gaining weight.
gains,
Yeah.
right? So that's like the sweet spot, hopefully, because it's like you don't have to push it super far, right? If you're in a calorie surplus and you're like lifting heavy, you can make some gains without having to. Now, when you get to like that level, like when I had like Kyle and Dominic in here, those guys are like he's pushing so much food, and it's
Yeah.
like, but they're like on that other level, fucking like. It's wild when you hear their diets, but it's not like they're like getting fat while they're doing it. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like, it's so interesting how the body works, right? Like you just like push it a little bit,
Yeah.
bit. You don't want to overspill where it gets too fat, And so where do you see taking bodybuilding, man? Like, obviously you want to become a pro, so that's like really hard. Do you want to transition this into like a career, become a trainer, become a coach, or like
Make this a career 100%. I will.
right? And you will. I think you will, man. You're already on the way. Yeah, so it's like you just want to take what you've learned and then inspire other people and help them in the same thing and
Yeah.
kind of do what you love for a living.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will, man. It feels like you're already kind of like there. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. I'm far out from where I want to be,
Right.
but one day.
That's
I'll-
always though, right, dude? What other stuff do you want to like do with social media? How far do you want to take that stuff, man?
I want to make a career out of that too.
Okay.
Kind of like as I do, I take social media as serious as I take bodybuilding.
Right. So do you have any kind of rules with that? Like do you have any kind of like, I gotta post this many times a week type stuff, or like?
Okay, here's the thing. I used to do that,
Mhm.
and then it made it not fun.
Right, because I feel like people can I never want to like misrepresent myself on social media, even though it's just stupid social media. It's just social media, but like you said, I feel like you kind of always want to try to be yourself and like keep some level of like, this is who I am, and like not be like fake on there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the thing is, like, I found the videos that I didn't schedule, the videos that just kind of popped in my head. Like, I'm just sitting there eating, and I'm like, oh, this will be funny. And I record that video, make it. Those tend to do the best,
Mhm.
versus the ones where I'm like, oh, I'm going to take my pump cover off and just pose.
Right.
So
You think some of the funny ones are like doing the best?
those do the best. Or, like, my transformation videos. But I can't be posting transformation videos every day, you know?
No, but your transformation videos are pretty awesome, man, because like I didn't realize that's where you came from when you were young. And like I don't think a lot of people have those kind of, because you're younger, so you had like video of yourself at that age and everything, dude. That's pretty impressive. Like where you were to like what you look like now, isn't that crazy? Like that the human body's capable of that?
Yeah. I feel like I could do way better.
Well, right. I
Yeah.
think in bodybuilding, yeah, I don't really know any bodybuilder that really is ever satisfied with their body, which is probably what keeps them going, and keeps, I think it's okay to step back and kind of look at, appreciate where you came from, but also keep, like if you ever start getting down about where you are, if you kind of look back and be like, oh shit, but that's where I came from, because like you'll look back and you'll be like, well, I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
You look back, you're like, shit, that's what I used to look like. I don't want to go back to that. And like you keep growing. And when you do look back sometimes, for me, it kind of recharges the battery sometimes. And like, let's fucking keep going. Because if I look at even just 2 years ago, like, oh shit, I don't want to be back there. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be where I am right now. So like, even when I'm not super happy with where I am now, it definitely helps me to look back and see that kind of progress. But yeah, I think like trying to stay hungry is definitely huge, man.
And the thing that I live by is being better than I was yesterday.
Right. You're like in competition with yourself, right?
Yeah. So like even in prep, if I did cardio at 45 minutes and I wasn't touching, like it's as simple as like not touching the handlebars when I'm doing the Stairmaster.
Yep.
If I touch the handlebars, then I'm not as good as I was yesterday.
How long are you going without touching the handlebars? 10 minutes? 20?
The whole time.
60?
Yeah, the whole hour.
Damn, son. That's impressive.
It's just like, it's my cardio. It's what I gotta do.
That's what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that I think that's the hardest cardio is the stairs.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
Because like I can do I like walking on an incline at a pretty good pace.
Yeah.
That seems to get the heart rate up good. And then I'll do half on that and then half on the stairs. I'm supposed to be doing a whole hour on the stairs, but I'm a pussy. I haven't quite got there yet.
Yeah.
And that's the goal is eventually. But yeah, the stairs are tough, dude.
Yeah, like towards the end of prep, I cut out stairs and I just went to the treadmill.
Yep.
Because my legs.
You couldn't even do it.
Yeah.
You were that weak. You were that depleted.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. No, I get that. You're just like so fucking tired.
I was dragging myself.
But you're like, I still have to get this cardio in, so we got to do something.
Dude, I was up to like 900 milligrams of caffeine a day.
How many scoops? You dry scooping?
No, like I was doing like my fat burner in the morning. That's 200. I was doing like 2 cups of coffee. Damn. And then I was doing my pre-workout.
What do you take for pre? What do you like?
The Get Raw Nutrition stuff.
Is that you? Are you sponsored by them?
Yeah.
Well, who's your sponsor? Let's give them a shout out.
So we got Revive MD, and then Raw Nutrition, and then if you guys use code Israel10 at checkout, you save some money.
Sweet. We'll hit that up again at the end. But so Raw Nutrition.
Yeah.
That's one of your sponsors.
Yeah.
Let's see. What are they? Let's look them up.
Raw and Revive.
Raw Nutrition.
Yeah.
Get Raw Nutrition.
Yes.
Okay, sick. I'm following follow them on Instagram. Get Raw Nutrition. Looks like they're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
What's some of your favorite stuff from them? I'm just gonna look at the website.
I love the Bum pre-workout. So C-Bum's pre-workout.
Oh, so this is for C-Bum.
Yeah.
Okay.
His pre-workout is.
Dude, I saw his protein the other day at the store, and it like has a lisp.
Yeah, the whey protein.
What do they call it? Isolate. The whey isolate.
Yeah.
It's like Mike Tyson shit. Like.
Dude, the oatmeal. I forgot what it's called. The oatmeal something flavor is so good.
Okay, Get Raw Nutrition. This does look pretty awesome, man.
Yeah. And then Revive is just all my health stuff.
And what kind of stuff do they do?
So you can get like testosterone booster and like cortisol manager, like a glucose disposal agent.
Which is probably huge when you get down to those low levels. Like, if you're like natural when you're cutting and stuff, dude, it's probably hard to not get like the overflow of like all these cortisol and like breakdown. So then your body would get filled with like estrogen and
feel like shit. Like dude, it gets.
Because like if you're like on something and you're getting lean, it's one thing. But when you're doing it natty, dude, like. You can fuck your hormones up.
100%.
You know, like, okay, I'm looking at the pre-workout Thavage.
Yeah.
Savage pre-workout.
Savage pre-workout.
Dude, I dig this shit. Get Raw Nutrition. Shout out.
Yeah.
This looks like a cool company.
Yeah, it is super dope, and they treat me really well too. So.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Sweet. But yeah, man. So like this other company, they do a lot of stuff like that's important. Cortisol management.
And they're basically the same company. So Raw and Revive.
They work together, like kind of partners.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Very cool.
So, I'm thankful for them, and they definitely helped me out a lot.
Right.
So, I was looking at Young LA. Hopefully.
Dude, Young LA is the
Yeah,
shit.
it is.
I know.
I
I
love their
keep tagging
clothing.
them all my shit. I'm like, I know they're never gonna want me,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna try anyway, dude. I'm gonna
Same.
try anyway.
I've been trying for a year. They never reached out to
One
me.
of my buddies, I don't know if he's a buddy, but a friend of mine that I talk to online sometimes. Let's give him a shout out. He's a Young LA guy, and he's a really cool guy. I've talked to him a few times. He's got like just a group of people that he kind of. Jack Santini, Young LA athlete, really cool guy. If he's ever around here, he's coming on the podcast. He said so.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Dude,
I do
awesome.
think Young LA is one of the cooler brands. I like wear their shit all the time. I love Dark Sport too.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are your favorite brands, dude? Because it's so stupid, but like, honestly, in bodybuilding and lifting, dude, we're such nerds for like the clothes.
Yeah. There's this new brand called Flux Gear.
Flux
He
gear.
just came out. Dude,
Check it out.
The quality is amazing, and it's like a bunch of like oversized tees. He does like oversized clothes. Quality's super good.
Flux gear by Jake.
I think it's like Wasim something. Wasim Yonis, I think that's his name.
So it's not this one.
No.
That looks like some weird shit.
Yeah, look up Wasim Yonis, or like, I'll say his app.
Yeah, send it to me, dude. We're gonna just shout out all these fucking people live.
Yeah, so it's Wasim _Yonis.
And how do you spell that?
WASSIM _YO.
Jonas. Got it.
NES,
Wasim Jonas.
Yeah, and it's the Flux Gear.
We're following him. We're checking. Okay, the Flux gear. Linktree.
They're like $13 too. Super cheap, but the quality. I was
Okay,
impressed.
$13 Flux pump covers.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, quality is huge, right?
yeah. Like
Okay, this shit looks pretty dope. Yeah.
it was honestly equivalent to Young LA.
Okay, nice.
So, and Young LA quality, it's amazing.
It's the best, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. I dig their shit. It's like comfortable, looks good. I mean, that's pretty much what I wear to the gym like every day.
Yeah.
I used to really love Gymshark. You know, but like by the time you're your age, Gymshark's already kind of not cool.
Yeah, no.
Dude, they were so cool back in the
I
day.
remember, yeah, with David Lade and all.
David Lade
yeah.
is like a god, you
Yeah,
know, like
he
that
is.
dude, all those dudes. And now it just seems like it lost its touch or
It
something.
did. It really did.
Why is that? What do you think happened?
I think their quality and just their marketing and the clothes they're making.
Well, they lost some athletes because some weird shit went down, like during COVID, where
Yeah.
like you had like certain people that were like woke and other people that were like, you know, you had like some of those dudes were a little more right wing, and then like Young LA was left, and like they got in these kind of issues, and
Yeah.
like I've watched some of the videos on that shit, and it's so wild that like y'all got political and stuff, but
Exactly.
I think they lost some of their really cool athletes during that time, but like David Lade stuck with them,
Yeah.
so he's still there, and he's probably like.
The only.
I don't know who anybody else that's OG that like still there,
Yeah, same.
and he's still killing it.
He is.
Yeah.
No, his back injury was rough.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I like a lot of the shit he's doing, like just like the sauna and cold plunge stuff. I want to get into that stuff so bad, like. You know what I mean? Like, I
Dude.
would love to have, like, we have a backyard here, and
Yeah.
someday, dude, I'm going to have a sauna in that backyard.
There's a place called iVitality. Have you heard of them?
No, is that like a
Super cool.
cold?
They do cryotherapy.
Right. Okay,
Dude,
let me check that out.
It
dude.
is. I've been doing it every day. It's a game changer.
Right, I've heard it's like
Yeah.
extremely
It is. Yeah.
vitality, really good for you, man.
It is 100%.
Like
And it's-
I went, I looked it up. Like so, Vitality.
Yeah. There's one in Issaquah and one in Bellevue too, so it's not too far.
Okay, Issaquah, here it is. I'm
Yeah.
gonna follow it. They got cryotherapy and sauna because I love both, man. I missed the sauna. That's the only thing I liked about the when I did go to whatever the box gym where I forgot the name.
Yeah.
We just talked about it. They had a sauna, and that was great. LA Fitness, yeah, they had a sauna. But yeah, man, I would love, even here, I just want to get like a little cow tank and like put ice in it and just like take ice baths and shit.
I've seen people like get the freezers, like the $500 freezers.
Right, that's perfect. And you just put water in there and it keeps it cold because you can plug it in. Yeah. Well, that's the thing about the ice one. You have to like refill the ice every time.
Yeah.
But there's so many health benefits to cold plunge.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So when you go to this iVitality, what do they do? How does that work? You like go there and then what you get in one of those little, is it like one of those things you get inside and it's got the cryo? Like,
yep.
Okay.
And dude, it is like afterwards you just feel happy. It's like a euphoric feeling.
You feel exhilarated, don't you?
Yeah, like you're ready to go, like take over the world. My joint pain got better.
Right.
I stopped being sore.
Right. It helps with like inflammation, all that stuff, right? Recovery, healing. God, there's so many fucking benefits. Yeah, man. I need to get on that shit.
100%.
That stuff is so cool.
It is.
Is there any other kind of stuff that you're doing, like extra, like, what do you do? So, like, you get your raw nutrition, you have your supplements that sponsor you. What's your protocol for, like, vitamins, supplements, all that kind of stuff? Let's go through that.
Okay, so I'll wake up and I'll do my morning everything, right? So I'll do my multivitamin, my vitamin D3.
Right.
I'll make, like, a little shake with glutamine, creatine, and a little bit of potassium, because I cramp a lot.
Right.
So
gotta get the potassium.
Yeah, I do that first thing in the morning. Fish oils, really important.
Yep, that's a big one.
What else? Green tea extract.
Mm-hmm.
So that's in the morning, and then I'll eat my meal. So I'll kind of go over that too. So some egg whites, turkey bacon, English muffins.
Dude, English muffins are the shit.
Yeah.
And I love that shit.
Yeah, dude, they're amazing. You can make like little sandwiches with the turkey bacon.
Turkey bacon, egg whites, and English muffin. Ooh,
and then you put like sugar-free ketchup on top. It's a game changer.
I'm definitely big on the sugar-free ketchup and the sugar-free syrup.
Yeah,
you gotta have that. Those are staples. I feel like
100%. And then I'll go to pre-workout meals. So I'll do a glucose disposal agent.
Mm-hmm. And that's something you get from where?
Revive.
Okay.
Yeah. So their glucose disposal agent is super good. I'll do that I just started doing this. So, the baby cereal, it's like ground rice.
It's like made for babies?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It sounds weird, but
Is it like, well, I mean, I do like cream of rice every day. Is it similar to that?
So it's exactly like cream of rice, but it's just the baby cereal brand.
Oh, okay. Is there like flavors?
No.
Somebody was telling me about this like super flavored cream of rice around here you can get.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like really dope, but it's expensive.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, the baby cereal stuff, it's like $5 and it will last me like 2 weeks.
Damn, dude, that's a good deal.
Yeah. So I'll do like a cup of that with a banana and 5 ounces of chicken.
And that's your pre-workout with the glucose.
Disposal agent. And then like some almond butter, some fats in there too.
And then you go hit the gym.
Yep. Post-workout, I'll have some rice cakes with honey and a shake.
Yep.
With another glucose disposal agent.
Yep.
And then I'll go home, eat my rice and chicken.
Right.
And then I have like some ground turkey and rice, some steak and rice.
Yep.
And the last meal is like some oats, whey protein, 2 fish oils, and then I take a ZMA.
Yep.
Some glutamine. And then I started doing this magnesium like calm powder. It really helps a lot with sleep.
Right. And are you trying to hit sleep pretty hard? Like.
Yeah, my sleep has been.
Sleep's tough, dude. There was this app I got too that.
Is it Sleep Cycle?
I think it's Sleep Cycle, and it's like, it actually made me a little more aware of my sleeping.
Yeah,
and it's the one like it records your snores and all that shit, dude. Yeah, Sleep Cycle. It's great. Dude. Like I put it on at night, and I'm like, okay, I'm actually getting good quality, but you're still surprised at like. Damn.
You know what's crazy is that app made me find out that I have sleep apnea.
Right. I didn't even know. Like, I remember, like, I when I was younger.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just because I have, like, a little bit of a cold right now. But, like, I can't remember who was like, oh, you don't even snore when you sleep. Like, somebody was, and I'm like, oh, sweet. So I thought I didn't snore. And, like, now I'm like, I don't snore a lot, but, like, I do a little bit. And this thing records it. It's like, it's a cool app.
100%, yeah. And
it definitely does help you realize, like, oh, shit. So, if you found out you have sleep apnea, are you trying to like get on a what are those machines?
Yeah, a BAP machine or a VPAP?
Yeah, CPAP machine.
CPAP machine, yeah. So I'm going to my doctor
At
right
19
now.
years old, you gotta get on that CPAP machine.
Dude, apparently I've had it for years.
Yeah, and it's hard on your sleep, man.
Yeah. And I didn't know this, but like ever since I watched a More Plays More Dates video came up, he was talking about it. I was like, wait, I have all these.
Doesn't he use a CPAP?
Yeah.
Because he's a big fucking dude, man.
Yeah, he does.
I think it kind of comes with the territory of bodybuilding too, 100%,
right? Yeah.
It's because you get so big and then
your class come over. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I think I've had it ever since I was a fat kid.
Right.
So.
But now you're not a fat kid, dude.
Yeah.
You're just a fucking ripped fucking bodybuilder, bro. Come on. Yeah, fucking shredded. I saw that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That is cool. It's probably hard to get into that mindset of thinking that, right? But it's probably good to stay like humble too, where you're not like totally super full of yourself.
Yeah, it is. I feel like I always want better for myself.
You feel pretty confident now?
No. I feel like my confidence got worse the bigger I got.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're still kind of working on it. But you feel like you're on the path to like a healthier lifestyle, right? Like
100%.
Or you already are in a healthier lifestyle.
Like, dude, knocking on wood, like, my doctor's like, dude, you changed your life the last couple of years. Like, my blood work went from, like, 4 years ago, like, cholesterol was all over the place, like, everything was
which is wild at such a young age, and now it's good, right?
Yeah, now everything is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'm so thankful for the changes I've made.
Right.
But
and do you feel like that's something like sharing that story, like when you share those kind of like those transformation things, I think it is cool because sometimes people are like scared to show the before.
Yeah.
You know, because you do look good now, and when you get lean, you look shredded, and you could just post those. But sometimes I think, like, even I just shared this, like, and it was hard to do it because I'm like, oh, I forgot that I even looked that shitty because, like, I was always in good shape, you know, when I did wrestling and stuff. And then when I looked at my first, you know, these check-ins with Renovation Fitness, you know, and I was like, oh my God, I really did look like shit. I didn't even realize it, dude. Like, you know, because when I was younger, like I said, I wrestled and stuff, so I was always like known as the guy who's like in shape. And then when I was like, you know, I got a little older, that's why I had to start working with Renovation because I just wasn't killing it like I used to. I wasn't living up to my potential. And when I looked at those photos, I'm like, damn, dude, like I don't think I look good now. I want to look better. I want to get bigger. I do want to do a show. But I did forget, like, that's what I mean, like, looking back at those. And I think when you share those videos with people of your before and after, man, you can really help some kids maybe that do feel like the way maybe you did when you were younger, like, or they feel helpless or hopeless about their weight, and show them that there's a path out of that. Yeah. It just takes a lot of hard work.
100%. And I want to thank, like, dude, I don't give enough, like, I'm not thankful enough for a lot of things I have.
Right.
And I'm trying to, like, work on that.
Like practice gratitude and stuff.
It's really hard.
It is, man. It's really hard.
Yeah. And I always get these DMs of, like, people are like, hey, man, like, thank you so much for sharing your, like, knowledge. Thank you so much for, you know, you're inspiring me to, like, push myself. Like, dude, you're doing amazing. Like, I always get these amazing comments and, like, these amazing DMs. And I'm so thankful, and like it pushes me to be a better person every day.
Right. But and you are like actually probably making a positive impact on all these people's lives.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think about because like for me in my head I'm just like I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
But then all these people are like you're inspiring me to do better.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to like, you know.
It's hard to think that. Yeah, it's hard to get out of that mindset of I'm not good enough. And I think that in a way, that mentality, it can be really good because it keeps pushing you to be better. And it's like kind of the thing that's like probably pushing you in the gym, like when you're working out, like I'm not good enough, I need to fucking be better, I need to do this, I need to hit this hard, I need to work harder, I'm not working hard enough. And I think that's actually good. But I mean, it is kind of damaging sometimes. You do have to look at yourself and be like, okay, but you know, you're competing with yourself, but maybe it's like sometimes I think it's like the negative self-talk gets a little too negative.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know. I think it's like a double-edged sword. It's like
It
you
is,
need
yeah.
it because it keeps you going forward, but it's also kind of hard on you. Like,
100%. Yeah, you have to find like a good balance in between everything.
because if you just loved yourself, you'd be like, oh, I'm fine. I'll just go
Yeah.
eat pizza. I'll just go look like shit. I'll just be an asshole to my girlfriend. I'll just, if there was like, if you're too easy on yourself, then I don't know.
And you know what's crazy is like before I like signed up with Brian and stuff, and I was just like bulking on my own. I looked way worse than I do now.
Yeah.
But I was the most confident because I was like, I look amazing. You know, I go to the gym, and I surrounded myself by, like, no disrespect to anyone, I surrounded myself with average people, right? So I became
by
a
proxy,
little bit above average,
right? Yeah.
So I was better.
Right.
In my head.
So if you're kind of like hanging out around a bunch of people where you're the only one that lifts, then like, you feel fucking great about yourself. But then you go into the body shop and you look around and you're like, oh, I'm not shit.
Yeah, you're like,
look at these guys, how hard they're fucking work.
Dude,
that's what's great about the body shop is like, I'll be, oh, look at me. I'm fucking look so good. And then I go in there and I'm like, oh my God, I got nothing.
Yeah.
I got nothing on these guys. They're they're real athletes, they're real bodybuilders, and they bring you up. It's like, damn, I need to work way fucking harder. I need to hit my diet way better. I need to stay on point. Like, I'll see like Jordan, my coach, work, and it's like, how the fuck does he have that work ethic and raise a family and do all the like coaching he does? And it's like, I think it's so good to be surrounded by people like that are working so hard, and it just like the minute I'm gonna go complain about like it's like, I can't complain because like I'm surrounded by all these people that are working harder than me. So it's like I need to step up to that level. Yeah. I need to step up my game to that level. You know what I mean?
100%. And you, like, in this sport, you just gotta push yourself past your limits. Mm-hmm. Like, no matter what it takes.
It's like Mike Tyson says, like, do what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
Exactly.
Every day. Do what you hate to do, but do it like you love it. Just do it like you love it. You know what I'm saying? He does that shit. Dude, I love Mike Tyson.
I love him.
I love his fucking podcast. He's been like smoking weed with me and Ric Flair. Been smoking some of this Ric Flair weed lately. Just, he woo. I fucking love that shit, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I love seeing, I get so inspired by like, these old pro wrestlers and these guys like Mike Tyson and these athletes that did kind of do what you said, where like they've just like worked so hard their whole lives and they put in all this like effort to like not be like everybody else, to not be just normal, to like achieve these great heights. And then like for me, watching them like age and still kind of do cool shit is like, it makes me so happy. Like Ric Flair just came out of retirement, 73 years old. He had his last wrestling match. And, it was like, for what a 73-year-old could do, it was pretty amazing. And it's like, stuff like that just keeps me going, man. I just get so passionate about stuff like that. Like, so I love watching, like, Mike Tyson have Ric Flair on his podcast.
Yeah, and they're funny guys.
God, they're so funny, dude. And they're just, like, all into smoking weed and shit. Yeah. I'm like, man, I should start smoking some weed. No. You don't smoke?
I don't smoke, no.
No, I don't either. Yeah. I don't drink either. I do have this Metallica whiskey, but I don't. I haven't even opened it. I just got it because I love Metallica, the band.
Yeah.
So like this is Metallica whiskey. Like supposedly they fucking like play it Metallica when it's in the barrels.
Yeah. Like
they blast it with sound, I guess.
Oh wow.
Supposedly, and then they give you the playlist with it of what it got played.
Oh, that's super dope.
Which was actually kind of sweet.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not much for drinking or any of that stuff either.
It's not good for gains.
It's just not like. Yeah, like I actually. There's a guy, and not Andy.
Andrew Huberman.
Andrew Huberman, dude. Huberman Lab podcast. Yep. I just listened to that one about alcohol, and it was fucking insane.
Dude, it's a depressant too.
It was so terrible. It puts you in this cycle of like depression and anxiety, and then you have to drink a little bit just to feel better, but then it makes you feel worse again, and so it's this cycle of like needing to feel better, so you drink, but then that puts you in a depression and anxiety. And it's like people are doing this every day, and I watch them, and it's like even just like 2 drinks a week like is doing terrible things to your body, and people do this and they think it's like normal and regular. And it's not normal. It's like I don't know, that shit drives me crazy,
dude. Yeah. And it's Like, it's just not.
That's why I hate when people look down at like bodybuilding or people that work out, and it's like, but what are you? Look at what you're doing to yourself.
And
like,
that's what irritates me is like, people are like, all you care about, or like I have friends who are like, oh yeah, you and your meal prep, like, like I'm eating this cookie and you can't even eat it or shit like that. And I'm like, okay, but like, just because I can dedicate myself to something and I'm you know what I mean, like this is what I'm truly passionate about.
Yeah.
It's, you know what I mean?
Well, a lot of times people who are like not doing stuff, they'll shit on people that are doing stuff. So
100%.
you know what I mean? Like if you're not doing stuff, you got to shit on people that are doing stuff to make you feel better.
Yeah.
That's kind of a thing, you
Yeah.
know. It's like, but yeah, I mean, it's like, what are you really missing out on though? You're missing out on a little bit of like pleasure from eating.
Yeah, and you're gonna feel like shit.
And you're going to feel like shit later. It's kind of like drinking. It's going to put you in that, like, because that's what happens when you eat, like, food that's not necessarily great for you, low nutrient food with high calories, high sugar. It feels great for, like, a second, and then you're like, oh.
And, like, the thing is, you can still go out and have fun, like, without drinking. Like, if you're going to a party or something, or you're, you know, like, a club or anything like that, you can still go and, like, dance and, like, have a good night.
You like to go hit up clubs?
Yeah.
Dude, do you?
Yeah, like,
fuck
it's
yeah,
fun,
dude.
man.
Why
Like,
not?
dude,
Yeah.
You go dance, you know, you, like,
And
do
you get
2
to
hours
do
of
it,
cardio.
you get to do it looking hot, looking better.
Yeah,
like, you know, it's like I get to look sexy while I'm doing it.
Yeah. And it's always, like, a good time, and I never drink. And, like, I'm always there, and I have the best time of my life. Like, you know,
I don't think you have to drink to have a good time.
Yeah,
not
100%.
at all. It can be, drinking can be good. It's like a social lubricant. I think it has a lot of positive things too, but the health effects are just negative. Like there's positives to drinking, like making friends, getting in that like state of mind where you're like, you know, kind of goofy with each other and you make connections with each other. So I get that part of it. But when you look at, like, if you listen to that Huberman Lab podcast and you listen to the effects of alcohol in your body, there's just no doubt the science is, like, it is not good. It's bad, dude.
Yeah. I've been trying to, same thing with, like, caffeine.
You're trying to limit it? I haven't got myself there yet. Dude. I'm like...
And I also take Adderall for, like, my ADHD. So I've been trying to lower my Adderall and
you should be writing a book, dude.
On what?
If you're on, like, Adderall, doesn't that shit help you?
Dude, it's crazy, yeah. And it's, like, in prep.
Just, like, focus like crazy.
Like, in prep, and it also doesn't make you hungry.
Damn.
So, yeah. But
it's, like, hard. You gotta, like, be careful with that shit, right?
Well, it's doctor prescribed, so I take whatever the doctor told me to take.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But I've been trying to limit it and, like, switch over to, like, nootropics.
Right. I see a lot of pre-workouts now. They're going to, like, nootropic pre-workouts.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's like some new thing they're doing or what, but
it is. Yeah. It's weird. Like with nootropics, you feel more like clear-minded.
Right.
But with Adderall, you're just like, it makes you a little bit tired, but you're just like so focused, like no distraction. Like you can lock in on something. It's all you focus about.
I need to get some of that shit for studying. Yeah. Damn. Yeah. No, I mean I think a lot of authors use it.
Yeah.
And they'll just, like, write a book. They just get on Adderall and they just, like, write. They just write and write and write, man.
But it's not, it raises your, like, dopamine levels to, like...
But the thing is, like, caffeine, I don't know if I could ever quit it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, like, probably trying to be careful and limiting it a little bit. But I don't know about totally quitting it.
Yeah.
It's hard to lift without pre-workout, dude.
Dude, 100%. Like, the one change that I made is I'm, like, last... caffeine thing of the day is like 1 o'clock, no later. So,
right, definitely. I try to limit it before a certain time so that I can sleep.
Yeah.
Because I think that is usually a problem. Like, if you do it too late, you'll just, you know, because we were just talking about how important sleep is. Yeah, you're like laying in bed and your heart's like racing and you're like, fuck, I shouldn't have, like, especially if you lift later in the day and you hit those pre-workouts hard, man, it's like, can be pretty rough.
Can you work out at night or no? I can't do it.
I can't. I just can't. Like, I'm gonna go do cardio after this. I can do that. I'll go put my hour of cardio in. I can do that, but I cannot. I mean, I shouldn't say I can't because I mean anything's possible. But for me, I like to lift like early.
Dude, I would fall asleep. I like there's one time I tried to work out at like 9 at night.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay.
Yeah, it's just like it doesn't seem
Yeah.
like your body's not in the headspace to do it.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah, I just 10
oh.
a.m. to like 4 is perfect for me, to be honest.
Yeah, same. I like that time. Like usually, like I feel like if I get there earlier, my day goes better too. Like a lot of times I get there 11 or 12, but if I try to get there like at like 10:30, that's like the perfect time, dude.
Yeah.
Sometimes like my days off, I'll get there and do legs like a little bit later. And that's okay sometimes, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I think it was like a podcast or something. I was doing a podcast.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, like they wanted to do it in the morning or like at 1 or something. So it's like, okay, so either I have to get up like super early, go, and legs takes a while, you
Yeah.
know, like I can't just like.
And like, dude, after leg day, you just want to sleep.
Oh,
you don't want to
shit.
do anything.
Right, I just did legs today. It's
Yeah.
like, fuck. But, so I think, I can't remember what time they wanted to podcast, and I ended up doing legs afterwards, and it's like, then you're there so late, dude. And no, I prefer morning lifts for sure.
Yeah.
It's just way better. Oh, shit.
I'm gonna break.
We got this fucking hum going on. We need some like. Oh shit! You know what that is, dude? Here.
Yeah.
I still had that other mic on from the other podcast when we had
Okay.
3 people in here.
Yeah.
Listen, there's no hum. This this
Okay.
video is gonna be like humming the whole time. That's what that was. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Now look at how clear it sounds.
Dude, it sounds so much better now. What?
I know, isn't that fucked?
Yeah.
Damn, that's
That's
gonna be
already-
in there. No, it does. It sounds great now.
Yeah. It sounds amazing. It sounded good before too, but now it's just.
It probably, who knows, maybe on the video, like you'll hear, like whenever I run the air conditioner in here, like you can always hear this kind of
Yeah.
little hum in the background. I bet you'll be able to hear that.
Yeah.
That blows my mind how much crystal clear that is now.
Dude, yeah. It's,
Hopefully on the video you couldn't hear it as
it's
much.
night and day.
Yeah.
All right, so we're starting this now.
Yeah, we're just going to restart the whole podcast, talk about, yeah, dude, that's wild. Let's see, what else do we got to talk about here? What so other than like Chris Bumstead, who is awesome, I agree. Holy shit. Like look at shit like this. That looks so good. Like healthy shit.
Yeah. Dude, that's all I want. And I just want like a bowl of poke. I love poke.
Yeah, actually healthy food is the best.
It is. Yeah.
It really is, especially like bright, colorful shit with vegetables and
like if I got to the point where like if I eat like burger and fries or like if I eat, I'm just disgusted just thinking or like chocolate or candy or things like that.
yeah.
I'd much rather go make like a big protein shake
Oh fuck, dude.
with like dude.
That's like you guys when you're on your bulks and I need to talk to my coach and get like, I keep hearing all these people like their last meal is like a protein shake with oats, protein, and like berries or some
Yeah.
shit. I'm like, why am I not fucking doing that every night? I want some of that shit.
Yeah, dude, it's
Now my coach gives me pretty good meal plans. Like
what's your meal plan right now?
Mine's basically like so. Right now because it's like cutting.
And are you cutting for a reason or is it
Well, just because I bulked and then we were gonna cut and then I don't know. He was kind of like, maybe you'll do a show, and then I'm like, maybe I'll do a show, but then I didn't want to do a show, but so I don't know. I just wanted to try the bulk cut thing, just live the life of the bodybuilder, you know.
Yeah.
So mine right now is like get up. It's like 45 grams dry of cream of rice, a cup and a half of egg whites. I usually put spinach in the egg whites, salt and pepper.
Yeah.
I usually put some salsa on that, which probably adds to the calories a little bit, but it's not too bad. And then like the cream of rice, I'll do like cinnamon and like sugar-free syrup.
Yeah.
Before it was like a 1 egg, a cup of egg whites, and there was peanut butter in that, but that's gone now.
Yeah.
And then my next meal is like 80 grams of rice with like 7 ounces of chicken. That's my like pre-workout. Used to do Rice Krispie treats before, but those are gone now because we're cutting.
How was it? Everyone says like the pumps are insane. I've never tried that.
Oh, I fucking love you. Just like because you're cutting, because you're like on this healthy food, those two little Rice Krispie treats just like make your day.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like a treat before every. Yeah, it is a thing. It's definitely a fad in the bodybuilding world.
Yeah.
And then, but those are gone now. So it's just like a Carbo Max thing and like a 12-ounce Gatorade. So that's my carbs, like
Is it
intra workout.
sugar free or like full sugar?
No, full sugar, like
Yeah.
intra workout. That is my carbs. Like so instead of the Rice Krispie
Krispies.
treats, it's that. So then I lift, and then afterwards, it is a protein shake, 2 scoops, and then like 70 grams of rice again. Before that used to be Rice Krispie treats again after.
Yeah.
Or like when I was bulking, he had me on cereal, just like big ass bowls of fucking cereal.
My favorite. What's your favorite cereal? I have
Ooh,
two.
it's rough. I'd say actually like there was this one that was a mix between like Cinnamon Toast Crunch
Yes.
and it actually had both
Say
Golden
Cocoa
Grams.
Puffs. Oh, no.
It had Golden Grams and Cinnamon Toast Crunch
Yeah.
together. So that was one. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Life cereal. He always has us do Life cereal because that's like a healthy one, but it's delicious.
Dude, I got three. My number one is Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah.
And then Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
And then,
Reese's
like,
Puffs are my shit, dude. But
I
I
don't-
can't.
I don't
Those
like
are too
them.
much.
I don't like them. But then the one that I can have is the Cheerios. Those are good.
I like multigrain Cheerios, Honey Nut Cheerios, all that shit.
They're good, yeah.
But yeah, so then it was like, but no cereal now, obviously. And then it's like it's another 7 ounces of ground beef lean, and that will on my high carb day. There's like potatoes with that, but every other day nothing.
So you're
Just-
carb cycling right now.
Yeah, I do on my 2 back days. I go higher carb. So like a back day would be like it would be 300 grams of rice with that first meal of chicken instead of the 80 grams of rice.
Yeah.
And then that day I will have my 2 Rice Krispie treats before my lift. Still the Gatorade during the lift. And then afterwards it's like another 200 grams of rice with the chicken. And then 6 ounces of potatoes with the beef. And then one more meal of like 4 ounces of chicken and a salad. But like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Clean.
Dude, no, that sounds perfect. And you're eating the bodybuilder diet too, like, 5-6 meals a day.
Right.
So
That's how you do it.
yeah.
Once you get on that, I feel like it's like kind of second nature, and then you don't really feel good if you're not doing it.
It's hard to go back. Like, I get hungry every 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah, and also like when you're just eating randomly like people do, like every day, like how do you even manage how you feel?
Yeah.
Because like I know how I'm gonna feel based on like what I eat, and it's like regular every day. Imagine just like, oh, today I'm gonna eat this and then this, like what, and then you're at work and you feel like shit because you ate this thing. Like
Like brain fog.
I wouldn't even want to go back to that kind of life, dude,
No,
with
yeah.
like no control over how you feel. So like just every day is just this crapshoot. Like
Yeah. And, like, dude, 100%. That's the biggest difference, like, I noticed.
yeah.
And it's not even, like, restrictive anymore. It's just, like, a way of living, you know?
It doesn't even feel restrictive, does
No,
it? It
yeah.
just feels like I feel really good most of the
Yeah.
time, you know?
And I really like, we were talking about cheat meals earlier.
Yeah.
Like, I can literally text my coach right now, hey, I want to have a cheat meal.
Mhm.
Since I'm bulking, he'll be like, okay.
So
like,
what would be your go-to, like sushi for sure?
all right, poke. Dude, there's this place in Edmonds.
Okay, poke.
It's called Uno Poke. I'm
Yep.
shouting them out big time. They get their fish fresh from Hawaii, same day. And they just make it all that same day. So it's every single day it's fresh
Uno
from
poke.
Hawaii. Yeah. But sometimes they run out midday. So you have to go early in the morning.
It sounds delicious, man.
Yeah. So I'll swap out. I have like a 6-ounce steak and 1 cup of rice meal. So I can always swap out that meal for some salmon and rice. It's pretty similar in like macros.
Right.
So
So even when you're doing that cheat day with like that poke, that's not even too bad.
yeah, like I never really go crazy. Like I always try to stay in the same ballpark so I don't like,
Right, when you're doing your cheat, because it's not even a cheat day, it's a cheat
Yeah.
meal.
Exactly.
And it should kind of replace like one of your normal meals, right?
Yeah. And the reason why I don't even like doing that is because if I'm not doing it every week, then my coach can't make adjustments based on, my weight. Because if I'm like 1 week on, 3 weeks off, 1 week on, and I gain 1 pound that week,
Right.
my coach might be like, okay, we don't need to increase food when I actually do because I'm losing weight with the other. You know what I mean?
So your cheat meal kind of threw off his ability to like gauge.
It didn't throw him off. I feel like for me as my duty,
Right.
it would be better to like be on this eating the same food every day. So if I need to make adjustments,
Yep.
it'll be easier for him to.
And when you're throwing a random meal in there,
Yeah.
you're kind of like, you can always like Chipotle's not bad to like do an adjustment.
Yeah.
Like you can kind of just get like scoop of rice, double chicken, nothing else on it. That's like,
Dude.
if I like say I didn't have one of my 7-ounce chicken meals with rice, and for whatever reason I had to go to work, I could do like a double meat chicken at Chipotle with the 1 scoop of rice, and that's about pretty close.
Yeah, and dude, now that I think about it, like cheat meals, I haven't had a cheat meal in almost like 2 years.
At all.
No, like a year now. Yeah, like no, I've had 2 cheat meals.
Yeah.
So post show after a month, I replaced my steak with steak, but
Yeah.
like outside, so I had a little bit more fat.
Right.
And then like just a couple weeks ago, I had poke instead of my steak meal.
Right.
That's it
pretty
for the
good.
last year. Yeah.
Just no fucking cheat meals. Straight up, just like totally focused. Totally just want to become a pro bodybuilder.
I will. Just mark my word, I will. And
Yeah,
give me
I think
time,
you will, dude. I believe you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're doing, and it's like I feel like you're on a good path, and I feel like it's coming from a pretty positive place too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because of where you came from as a kid, and you know, it's like I think that's good, and that'll inspire a lot of people.
Yeah, and that was like me stepping on stage for the first time. It was really, really scary for me because I didn't think I was going to look great. I didn't think I have the size. I didn't think I was lean enough. I didn't think anything.
Right.
But I wanted to be like, I went from this fat kid,
Yep.
you know, this overweight kid, to being shredded and stepping on stage.
Yeah.
And that was like an accomplishment I've always wanted to do since I started working out. And it's something that I got to mark off my list.
Yep.
And I just, dude, like my passion for bodybuilding was like 80% before the show.
And the show made it
And the show made it like 500%.
a lot more, huh?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I've never been, prep made it 500%. I
Yeah.
enjoyed prep so much.
It is cool, man, when you start like getting lean and actually like you're like almost can't believe that that's you.
Yeah.
Cause you're like, especially if you were like overweight, it's like you like look in the mirror and you're like, how is that even
Like,
me?
yeah, like I started getting
Right.
my first bicep vein, my first like leg vein.
Yeah.
Like I've never had that before. I'm like, what?
Dude, my neighbor is actually, he's a trainer too. His name is
Yeah.
Nate, and his wife Jen has done like shows and stuff, like I think bikini. And dude, he's such a fucking like the biggest hype man. He's like, yeah, cause I mean he still works out and stuff, but he's not like bodybuilding or anything. He's just like stays in really good shape. But like I got home from the gym the other day and he was like, you need a hype man like him.
Yeah.
Cause like he's like, oh my god, look at this vein popping out of your arm. Oh my god, come here, I have to show my wife these veins. And like I'm like, oh my god, dude, stop. How he like came in and I was like eating my chicken sitting on the couch and he like tackled me and started like tickling me and shit. I fucking spilled like chicken and rice everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thanks, Nate. You're just like the greatest hype man ever, bro. You know? And he's like,
Sounds
oh,
a super
so
dope guy.
he is a super dope guy. But yeah, you need like a hype man like him. But it's so cool. Like, yeah, you see like a vein pop out, or you see like your bicep get to a new level, or your back start looking a certain way, or like even for me, like when I'm able to like get under a certain lighting and like, oh my god, I have abs. Like, what
And
the
that's the thing
fuck?
too, is like when I did the show, that was the first time I've had abs in my life. Ever.
Yeah.
And like, dude, it was like mind blowing. I was like,
And right now,
I finally achieved that. Like,
You
that
probably
was-
don't give a shit about abs.
I still have abs.
Right.
Like,
but
they're not as good as like.
but they're
Showday.
still there.
They're still there.
Like,
And
yeah, that's good because you don't
yeah.
want to get too big.
And that's the biggest thing about, like, that's why I love my coach so much.
Yeah.
Is like, he won't get me fat. He will keep me on the leaner end, and we're just gonna lean bulk.
I like that
Just-
idea.
You know, because there's no point of just shoveling down food and getting fat. Because when you cut down, you're gonna lose it all.
And it's like you're always close to show ready then.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because you're staying like relatively
Yeah.
lean and
So then when I go to prep, it's a 16-week prep, and I'll just be boom, like peeled in 16 weeks.
yeah.
Versus if I was, 250 right now, and when
Right.
I, sloppy.
Oh my god, dude.
then-
'cause that would not be good for you.
Yeah. When I go to prep, it's going to be like a 24-week prep, or like if it's 16 weeks,
Yeah.
I have to push food way harder, and I'll lose more muscle.
Yep.
So
No, it's just I don't think it's worth it getting that amount of body fat.
it's not, no.
Even like just me doing general health, like I just don't ever want to let my body get to that point
Yeah.
again. You just feel like shit.
Like right now, I was talking to my coach the other day. I was like, I want to start cutting, and he's like, why? Like you're at a perfect body fat to like keep
It's
bulking.
just
you know?
because you feel like
I just- yeah.
insecure or like
it's
it's
mainly
hard.
like social media too. It's hard to like post and like not be like
Totally shredded.
peeled to the bone. you
Well,
know?
that's like the thing about these people that we look up to. It's like, if you're looking at like Chris Bumstead or David Lade, it's like, oh, they're just like constantly look great.
Yeah,
you know?
but even like when I look at Chris Bumstead, that's what kind of like changed my mindset a little bit.
Because he'll get
is
thick.
He'll get thick.
Yeah.
right? Like if you look at him like
When you get older, you just start growing a big fucking beard
Yeah.
out like all them dudes when
Yeah.
they get thick, and then they look all like a fucking mountain man, and then all of a sudden you see them like peeled for the show, and they just look like tight and trimmed and look
Yeah.
all great, and you're like, what the fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Such a transformation.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, it's mind blowing.
Oh yeah.
But I've been like, it's different because like people on social media, they're peeled, they're shredded year round.
Right.
But I'm like, that's not what I want to do. I want to be a bodybuilder. So I can't be.
I think that's the difference. Like that's what Dominic was talking about, is the difference between like people that take the sport of bodybuilding serious,
Yeah.
and then other people that just want. And I don't knock either one. Like if you just
Yeah.
want to look good on social media and make a career out of that, do it.
Exactly.
You know, but I think the bodybuilding sport is like, I'm really gaining an appreciation for it. You know, since meeting like Mark and my coach and like some of these other guys, it's like, it really is this cool thing, and it's like probably one of the hardest sports. You know what I mean? Like, because it's weird. It's like it's totally subjective. Like it's coaches that judge you. You know, like there's like if somebody's in a powerlifting meet, they lift the weight. That's it. Doesn't matter if they're fat, skinny, what they look like, if they're ugly, good look, like it just doesn't matter. If the weight goes up and they have good form and the coaches and the judges give it to them, they just move the weight. It's very like concrete. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where bodybuilding is so like you're at these judges,
Yeah.
you know, like
you have
they're
to be like symmetrical. You know, you can't be.
so it's like what you said. It's about bringing a certain package, and so like, and then you have to. I think it takes these guys so long to get like, you know, because every time you do a show, it's going to be like a learning experience. And then the judges will give you like feedback, and then you like make adjustments, and then you do it again, and you do another show, and you get more feedback. And it's like, I think that's how these guys get so great, is just trial and error, failures, wins, losses, and then eventually they're just like have it so dialed in, it's like amazing.
Dude, 100%. Yeah, it's, you know, as long as you learn from your mistakes and you're better than you were last time, that's all that matters. And that's my goal, is like, hey, if I'm better than I was last time and I brought a better package and I know I gave it my best and there was nothing else I left on the table, then next time I'm going to be better than I did this time. And, you know, if every time you're better, then, you know.
No, that's what you have to do. You have to have that kind of mentality. So when you're like, besides like, you know, doing your meal prep, bodybuilding, is there any other like hobbies that you enjoy, or what do you do like for downtime? Play video games? What's like, is there anything you do, or is it just 100% revolved around this?
It's 100% revolved around this.
That's it?
That's it. I'm
so,
into
like,
cars.
Like what cars?
Like I'm just into cars in general.
Just in general. Do you have any favorites, like old cars, new cars?
I like BMWs, like newer BMWs.
Yeah. No, that shit is cool. Like even today I just saw like this, like, I think it was like maybe even a brand new like Ford Bronco.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit,
Broncos
that thing
are
looked
nice.
so fucking sick,
Yeah.
dude. I was like, damn. I don't know. Yeah, cars, like nice cars are cool.
Yeah. I want to get an M4
Yeah.
sometime this year and just, you know, mod it out, like put full bolts
Do
on
it, man. I think cars are awesome.
They are. And I also used to like build PCs and stuff.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Was that gaming stuff or
I
just?
used to game a lot, but I kind of cut it out.
I think it's bad because it's addicting.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It can be a great thing, but like, if you were like somebody that was overweight, you know, it's like it's just like one extreme to the other. It's
It
like,
helped me in prep.
Oh,
like,
so you
get
had
my
something.
mind off food.
Right. So I'm gaming. I don't think about food.
Yeah.
Right. I think about it. I have a PlayStation. I never play it.
Yeah.
But I did like. I was playing like Red Dead, the new Red Dead when it came out, and it was awesome. But I never finished it.
Dude.
The game was so good. I know I need to finish it. I just kept like, I would do the story for a little bit, and then I would get sidetracked. Like I'd go out hunting in the woods and shit.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then I just like never got back to the story. I'm like, shit, I need to go do my missions.
Yeah.
And then I got Last of Us Part 2, started it, and then never finished it.
Dude, the game I got hooked on was Fortnite for like.
Well, I think
2
that was
years.
everybody back then, dude.
Yeah.
Like what was that, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Holy shit, everybody was playing
I
Fortnite.
took it so serious.
Dude, were you doing it on a PC?
Yeah.
That's not fair. You PC fuckers were always like
yeah, I was
doing all
one of
this
those
shit, like
people-
throwing up walls and everything, and then the
Yeah.
people like on the PS were like, how the fuck are they this fast? Because you guys...
Dude, and that's the thing too, is like I notice like whenever I get myself into anything, I take it so serious.
Maybe an addictive personality, dude.
Yeah, like it's bad. Like
That's why you put it all in bodybuilding.
Yeah, like I got into cars for a little bit. That's all I cared about.
Yeah.
I got into like Fortnite for a little bit. That's all I cared about.
I kind of get that way. Yeah.
Dude, it's so weird.
Just get obsessed with stuff.
Yeah.
Like when the new Batman movie came out, I was like, that movie's awesome. I'm obsessed with it. I was like listening to the fucking soundtrack on the way home at night, like in the dark, like pretending I was Batman and shit. And like,
Yeah.
and then like I said recently, I got into those Transformer movies with Megan Fox.
Yeah.
I was just watching those while I'm doing cardio, and I'm like, watched all of them. So like, it's not like,
yeah. Next prep, I need to find like a really good TV show.
yeah.
I've seen a lot of
binge
people do that. Like just cover the clock, cover everything with a
Right.
towel.
I love it.
Watch the movie.
It
and
makes
whenever
you
my
feel
timer
okay
goes
about
off-
watching TV.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I'm doing my cardio, but you get to binge a fucking show.
I would bring my end of prep because I was doing 2 hours. I would bring my iPad
Right.
and like just watch a movie.
Yeah, then you get a bigger screen. I'm always watching shit
Yeah,
on
I'm
my little
like,
ass
what is
phone.
this?
Like,
Yeah, it's so tiny. You know?
can't fucking see. And then some of the cardio machines is off to the side. I'm like, damn.
Have you seen the new phone? The new iPhone?
No, I'm gonna get one though.
Dude, it's so nice.
Is it nice?
Yeah.
You don't have one either yet.
Yeah, no, I was waiting.
My thing's ready. I need to get one, but then my phone bill will go up again, so I'm kind of riding it out for a while.
Yeah.
Dude, it looks awesome. The
It is.
camera. Well, that's the thing is like I'd like to get a camera for more social media stuff.
It's
But if I get
48
the new iPhone, like that pretty much takes care of it.
Yeah, because it's 48 megapixels. That's
Yeah.
as much as my, my
I bet
camera.
it's just
Yeah,
dope. I bet
it
there's
is.
some cool features on
Yeah.
there too.
Yeah, 100%.
I love iPhone. There's a lot of cool stuff on it.
Yeah.
Like
no.
being able to unsend messages. That's like the greatest thing ever.
They just added that too. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm like, that was a smart
Yeah, that's
choice.
the thing. Sometimes you send a message like 30 seconds later, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, well, yeah, 100%. You're like, why did I send that? As soon as you get that clarity, you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
Like unsend, yeah.
Yeah, unsend. Glad I didn't do that. Then maybe they just see like an unsend thing pop up. Who gives
Yeah.
a shit?
You're like,
It's
oh, saying hey, how are you?
oh, nothing. I sent the wrong link. Or
Yeah.
yeah, just like,
How's your day? I spelled it wrong,
yeah, damn. When in reality, we know what that text probably really was.
Yeah,
No, dude, yeah, I love it. I love iPhones. They're super good.
they are.
I don't even know which one this is. The 11 or some shit? 12?
Nice.
What are they up to? 14?
14.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Get
get that.
the 14 Pro Max.
Yep.
I want a bigger phone. That's why, because this is the 13 Pro, and then I'm upgrading to the 14 Pro Max just because I want the bigger.
I do think actually like a bigger one wouldn't bother me because it's like I'm not really. There's certain things you do where like having a too big of a phone would be annoying because you wouldn't want to have it on you. But like everything I do on my phone, like for me, it'd be awesome to have a bigger phone for like watching
Yeah.
stuff while I'm doing cardio.
And like you can still hold it with one hand, and they have like the keyboard feature where it will slide a little bit over.
Yeah.
So then you don't like have to,
Sit there and like
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get that. It's like so many, dude. I want so many things.
What do you want?
Me? Oh God, just like everything, like clothes.
Yeah.
I don't know, like you said, cars. Like so, I don't know, like a Ford Raptor or something.
Dude, Raptors are nice.
Yeah, just like I want everything. It's like a problem. I try not to base anything on like, material possessions, but it's like
hard.
also I just don't believe in that whole like money doesn't buy happiness.
It does.
It 100% does.
It does. Like
I was
would
talking to
much-
this girl at work where
Yeah.
like money does buy happiness.
Dude, I would much rather be crying in my Lamborghini than
Yeah,
crying.
I love those
like,
memes.
Yeah,
dude.
like you know what I mean. It's just like.
I love those memes like that. Like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna be crying in my dude. I mean, I think if you're a relatively healthy person in general, I think if you're like have a bunch of trauma and like mental issues and stuff you haven't dealt with, you could have a ton of money and you're not gonna be happy.
I feel like 100%, but it's also like your mentality, like how you view things.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's one thing that I changed.
I
used
get
to-
joy out of everything, so
Yeah.
having more money just means more joy.
Dude, it's like enjoying the little things in life, like waking up and like listening to music.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so thankful that I get to wake up and like listen to music while I make breakfast and stuff. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not in a rush to like go somewhere. Like like just being happy with like
Right.
everything, you know?
I know. I mean, in general, I just really love life.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get those people where it's like honestly, I want to like live forever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Same.
want to die, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, there's some people I talk to, and, maybe because I work in a bar where they're like, be like, I'll say shit like that. God, I wonder if, like, by the time we're a certain age, they'll probably have a bunch of, like, anti-aging stuff figured out. We'll probably all well, they're like, God, I hope not. I don't want to be in this. And it's like, man, you hate your life that much? Like, and then I think because like, what's capable, like, even you, like, where you took yourself and you changed your life and you got into this, like, healthy, you, like, know what's capable in life and you know how to, like, make yourself happy. It's hard because you'll see other people that are, like, really unhappy and you, like, see all this potential, like, you could change all this and make your life better. But, you can't push that on other people because they have to make the choice themselves.
And it's hard, too, because they will think you're judging them or, like, you're trying to...
Right.
And I'm like, no, like, if you just, like this situation, if you just think about it in a different way...
Right, if you change your mentality, yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
man.
you got a flat tire. It's like... It's fine, like,
It's all right.
Yeah,
it's all right.
At least it didn't pop on the way, You're
late. It's all right. Yeah. It's like all that shit, right? Exactly. It's like it's not the worst. I don't know. I think maybe because you do bodybuilding, which is really hard, it gives you this, like, different perspective. So, like, if you're used to doing something that's, like, extremely hard all the time, like, you actually have a better gauge of, like, because you see people that, like, are so weak, like, one little tiny thing will throw off their whole day. Well, if you're, like, doing something really physically challenging like bodybuilding, you're like, well, that's not a big deal. Because you're like, shit, I just, went and did legs and I pushed all this weight. Like, that's, like, totally different. Puts you in a different mentality for sure.
100%. And I think, what really built that for me is, like, I used to get bullied a lot. Like, kids would always just, like...
That's too bad.
That's what, like, kind of...
Kids do that shit.
Yeah. That's what, like, made me binge eat and stuff, is that was my stress reliever. But it also, like... Mm-hmm. Like, changed the way I thought of, like, things.
Right.
It's like people make fun of you because they don't have...
It's usually something wrong or broken inside of them.
Yeah, it's like an insecurity.
It's an insecurity, and then they project it onto you. That's kind of what happens.
Exactly.
And so I think it's like if you're somebody that's kind of, like, okay with yourself, those people that have those kind of insecurity, they don't like it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So if you're, like, excited about life or, like, I don't know, man.
Exactly, yeah.
I think you're going to do good, man.
Dude, thank you. This means a lot.
Hell yeah. So let's, we're actually getting close to 2 hours, so let's give a shout out to all your people and we can wrap it up.
All right, cool. So I want to shout out to my coach, Brian Click.
Yep, the Click Way.
Click Way. And then Revive and Get Raw Nutrition.
Yep.
Code Israel 10 at checkout to save you some money.
Perfect.
That's it.
We'll put them in the description. Yeah. I'm going to give a shout out to Body Shop because I love them, and Renovation Fitness, my coaches, and all the previous guests that have been on the podcast. Thank you, and hopefully we'll have you guys all on again. I really enjoyed having you, man. It was great, and I wish nothing but the best for you, man. I'm going to be watching you if you do this show this year.
Thank you. I think I'm going to shock everyone with the package I bring, and I'm excited.
You're going to kill it, dude. Yeah. All right, man. We'll wrap it up. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for everybody.